Paint with me while my baby sleeps. I got up a little bit earlier this morning so that I could finish painting a sketch I made. I used Paul Rubens watercolors. They have rich pigments and are pretty affordable. My paintbrushes are not anything fancy, but I do need to upgrade them. I started out with a simple sketch on cold pressed watercolor paper. My goal for painting the values of the swan's shadows was to avoid giving too much contrast. I wanted the contrast to come from the deep green of the water. I went in first with some cooler tones for the shadows. I'm going to go over these shadows with warm tones as well. I just like adding the warm and the cool to give it dimension. That's my key advice for painting white objects, is to not be afraid of using lots of different tones in your shadows. So I'm adding browns and blues, and then I'm going to go in with pinks and some oranges later on. Here you can see I'm going in with those warm tones. They're going to contrast so nicely with the cooler tones of the water. I love adding pink cheeks to any of the creatures that I draw, whether they're human or animal. I find it adds like a very fun fairy tale-esque glow to their faces. My favorite part of this project was painting the water. Water can be so intimidating to paint, but you can simplify it by leaving white space where ripples would gather around an object. And you don't really have to be super detailed about adding the ripples either. You just need to make sure you are adding that white space around where the objects meet the water. I love adding details with a very fine tipped paintbrush. It will help your subject to pop a little bit more. I like to add sparkles to the ripples to give it a little bit of realistic dimension, and it's also just kind of fun and magical. So here's the finished swan. I think it turned out really well, and I hope I gave you some helpful pointers on painting white objects and water. If you are interested in cozy watercolor painting and finding time to do art as a mom, subscribe to my channel. And this is how my baby was entertained while I finished this painting, because she got up a little bit earlier than I expected. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Adios!